Bro, I'm better than 95% of the current roster, bro. That's a real statement. Vince Russo, I can't believe this is real, but it sure as shit is. This started with Vince Russo on Who Killed WCW, the third episode that aired. And in that video, they got to the portion where they're talking about WCW when Vince Russo came in and he inserted himself into WCW as an on-air authority character. And he came out and talked his trash on the microphone every single week. And the wrestlers were none too happy about it. But Vince Russo on the episode said, yeah, I put myself on the show because there was a lot of pressure on me to deliver ratings, and I was better than 80% of those people at doing it. Don't believe me that he said such a thing? Well, he did. Of course he did. Duh, who doesn't believe me? But check out this clip.
Well, he was brought in to be a writer, and then he write himself into the show and write himself as one of the main characters in the show.
This is my show, this is my house, and these are my people!
I'm just going to be 1,000% completely honest with you. As far as an on-air character, I felt that I was better than 80% of that roster. They put so much pressure on me, bro, that I made the mistake of saying, you know what? F it. If you want ratings, I will go out there and get ratings myself.
But look, obviously that was just for a TV show. It's hyperbole. He didn't really mean it like that, right? He would clear things up on his show, The Brand, when he talked about it. But nope, he doubled down on it. And not only doubled down, but he went a step further and said not only was he better than 80% of the guys back then, but now, today, in today's world of wrestling, he would be better than 95% of the talent. Check out this clip.
Yes, I was better than 80% of the WCW roster. Do I regret saying that? Bro, why should I regret it when it's true, bro? As a matter of fact, I am here to double down on that today. Today, bro? Today, I would be better than 95% of the WWE and AEW rosters. 95%, bro, without a shadow of a doubt. It might be, no, it won't be 100. There are some guys that can still cut good promos, bro. 95% without a shadow of a doubt. Bro, go back to Peacock. Go back to my work. When I was in that ring cutting a promo, people wanted me dead, bro. They wanted the baby faces to kill me, bro. I was evoking emotion out of the crowd. Nobody does that today, bro. Nobody. They're out there flip-flopping, flying, and cutting wrestling promos, bro. That's what they're doing.
Now, to be fair, he's not talking about in-ring work, right? He's not saying he could do a fucking wrist lock or Russian leg sweep or fucking dragon sleeper hold better than 80 or 95% of the rosters. No, he's talking about his ability to entertain, to cut a promo, to hold viewers' attention and draw ratings, bro. It's all about the ratings, bro. Okay? Well, let's dive into that a little bit. Let's see what kind of effect Vince Russo had on things here. So we'll start here. Vince Russo came into WCW. His hire date was October 3rd of 1999. Okay. So I went ahead and pulled the ratings for 1999 and 2000 to see if there's any truth to Vince Russo's great ability to draw ratings here. Let's get an overview of the 1999 ratings here, just to kind of get an overview of what we had going into Vince Russo's hire in October. We had Nitro basically getting its butt kicked here. You can see Raw is steady in the 5s, in the 6s, and even a 7. down here. There is an 8 here, but Nitro was preempted at that time. Nitro, we see, is they're in the 4s, the 4s, the 4s. They drew a 5 in February, but Raw was moved to Saturday that week. 3s and 4s all the way across the board. Going down, we're staying in the 3s now. We're seeing a lot less 4s as we get into May, June, July. There's 1 4 at the end of summer in August. Another 4 for September, and then right back into the 3s, the 2s. We're dropping into the 2s now, while Raw is still steady doing 5s and 6s. Dropping all the way down to, yikes, 2.8 towards the end. But Russo was hired right here, 10-3. So this would have been his first episode. Obviously, we got to give him a little bit of time to get things going. So his first couple of weeks, we're in the 2s. Pop back up to the 3s. To the 3s, bro. Then wait. Oh, back down to the 2. And a 3 again, back down to the 2. Okay, well, he just started. Let's give him some time here. Now let's see what we have for the year 2000. Raw's still doing 5s and 6s. Nitro 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2s, 3s. You get the point, right? We don't need to beat a dead horse here. So Vince can say he moved the numbers maybe from like a 3 something to, a 3.3 to a 3.4, 3.5. Okay. At best, you're still dipping into the 2s some weeks under the Vince Russo administration. So don't fucking tell me that you popped the ratings. You didn't. You can look at the week to weeks and go, oh, I moved the numbers, bro. The numbers. No, these are statistical anomaly shifts. They stayed between like 3.5 to 2.5, and they didn't go anywhere. They were in that range. That's it. Vince wasn't a difference maker. I don't care what anybody says. There's your proof right there. As far as the talent goes, Vince could talk. Vince was a good, I get what he's saying. He could cut a promo better than Hugh Morris could cut a promo. He could cut a promo better than Wrath, better than Glacier, better than whoever the fuck. You know what I mean? Better than the Kiss guy, the Kiss demon. Vince Russo could cut a promo. What he was talking about, what was the content of his promo was kind of meh. Right? He's just talking about the ratings, bro. In that locker room back there, I came in here. That kind of shit. The authority figure. Vince is the ultimate heel authority figure. This loudmouth New Yorker. He'd be a great manager. Vince Russo could manage the fuck out of anybody with creative direction. Don't just give the guy free reign on the microphone. Give him, here's what I want you to say. Not scripted, but you get the point. He'd be he's a great personality. Was he better than 80% of the people in WCW? He could probably cut a promo better than a lot of them, or more than half of them, for sure. A lot of those guys have been in the business a long-ass time, but not everybody's a great promo. He's a great mouthpiece. And to say you're a better promo, but not a better wrestler, obviously, but a lot of managers were better promos than most of the wrestlers. I'll give Vince Russo that. Could he talk better than 80% of them? I don't know about that. Could he talk better than 50% of them? Absolutely. 60? Probably. 70, 75, 80? Okay, I don't know. We'd have to kind of go into the roster at that point and go, because he's better than that guy. He's better than that guy. Nowadays, to say he's 95% better talker than they were back then, or than they are now in today's modern era? No. Absolutely not. Not 95. I would argue less. I would say guys are better promos today than they were back in the day. Is it scripted more? Does it sound more phony sometimes? Sure. But overall, I would say the guys can talk a lot better than they could back in those days, back in the 90s and 2000s. The 80s were something different, we're not talking about the 80s. We're talking about specifically Vince Russo's Nitro era. compared to today. I'd say there's better talkers in the business today. Lots of them. But Russo, look, man, he's got a podcast to promote. He's got gimmicks he's trying to sell, a subscription to his Patreon or whatever the fuck he's got going on, his OnlyFans. I don't know what Vince Russo does in his spare time to make money. But look, man, this is his personality, bro. He's confrontational, bro. Confrontational. No one watches the podcast to learn about wrestling, bro. They want the drama. Who's sticking it to who, bro? Who's talking trash about the other guy? I get where Vince is coming from, and there's a kernel of truth to that. The dude can talk. The guy, to this day, would be a great manager. He can cut a hell of a promo. He's a natural-born heel. People hate him. But these kind of outrageous comments that are just literally just meant to infuriate wrestling fans. I mean, good for him. That's his shtick, and he's getting a little bit of press and news and namesake out of it. People talk about him. People check out his show. Hey, good for him. But we all know it's preposterous. But it is worth breaking down because he's not saying he's a better wrestler than them. He's basically saying he's a better talker than them. Now, he's not a bigger draw. We already addressed that. We went into those ratings. You know what? And I've never actually looked at the week-to-week that close until just now. I did it for this show. I always kind of assume Russo's like, yeah, the rating, look at the ratings. The ratings don't lie, bro. The ratings went up. No, the ratings didn't go up here. You could look at, okay, you were brought in October 3rd, 2.8. 2.6 the next week. Oh, they went up to 3.3. You're a ratings mover, bro. You're a draw, bro. Look at that. 3.3, 3.4, 3.2. If you look at the numbers, bro. Except when you go up just a couple weeks, they had a 3.2, 4.1, 4.0, 3.3 up here. So, like, you're really not making any bit of a difference. You're making a very nominal fluctuation that they've been within that range before. So he's full of shit. He's not a draw. He's not a creative genius. He's had brilliant ideas. Vince Russo was the head creative over the biggest boom period in wrestling history, period, end of story. That's a fact. People say, oh, that had the Vince McMahon filter. Well, Vince isn't the most creative genius in the world necessarily either. But the two of them made a good team for the Attitude Era. But Vince is full of shit. But that's his shtick. He's allowed to be full of shit. He's got a show to promote. He's got subscriptions to sell. And speaking of subscriptions, hit my subscribe button down below. What are your thoughts? While you're down there, leave a comment on Vince Russo. Were you a fan of the Vince Russo era? Do you think that there is some credibility to him saying that he was a better talker than 80% of the roster back then? If not quite 80, like I said. I mean, would you put him over the 50%, 60% mark like I did at least? What about today? How do you put him up against today's talkers, today's personalities? And was he a ratings draw, bro? We went over the numbers. I showed you the week to week. What are your thoughts on the way that he describes that when he came in, ratings went up, boom, end of story? Not so much, or not the full story anyway. Just because they went up from the weeks that you were hired doesn't mean that you made a huge impact because they were just down when you got brought in. This is very simple shit. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, bro. Let me know in the comments, bro. Want to know your opinions, bro. Bro, thanks for checking out the video. You can find more great videos by hitting the subscribe button. And bro, while you're down there, hit that like button, leave a comment, and all of that other crap. Bro.